Hi, Mark Bruno with My Print Resource, and we're here at ISA 2015. And joining us right now is Dave Fellman with Fellman and Associates. Welcome, Dave.
Thank you, Mark. How you doing?
Good, thank you. Just wanted to ask you a few questions, most pertinently about your project that we've heard about, Sales DNA, Printing Sales DNA. Tell us a little bit about what it is and what you're trying to do with it.
I have thought for a long time that there's a gap between what salespeople think are important in terms of skills, attitudes, personality traits, and what printing business owners think is important. And I thought that there's got to be a way to quantify this. So I put together a list of 20 factors. I call them success factors, things ranging from sociability to empathy to resilience to ego strength. And put together a survey, put together a web page, and then get together with you guys, with the magazines, with social media, with the franchises, with the associations in the industry to put the word out. We ended up with 536 responses, which met my goal. My stats guy told me that we needed 200 responses to make it viable.
Okay.
I set the goal at 5. We got past that. I was very happy with it, and the results were interesting. It turns out that there's not as much difference between the owners and the salespeople's perspective as I thought.
Okay.
But it turns out there's this huge difference between all of their perspective and my perspective on what a salesperson's DNA should look like.
Okay.
So I put together a report. We sent a sort of a basic findings report, a complimentary report to every participant. I've built the final comprehensive report, lots of data, analysis, interpretation from me, and that'll go on sale at my website within the next couple of days.
Okay. Oh, great. We look forward to seeing it.
Yeah.
You mentioned technology. Talk a little bit about the sales process and how it's evolved, how it continues to change as a result of technology, and how things have to be done differently.
As a result of printing technology?
Not so much printing technology, but I'm thinking more in terms of the internet and availability of resources to the buyers.
Because the process hasn't changed at all based on printing technology. It's still the same relationship style, and the relationship is still about whether you understand what they need and you can give it to them. I think personally that the vast majority of printing customers are pretty satisfied with what they're getting from the people they're getting it from. I think that they mostly don't go to the next step, which is, could I be really satisfied, perfectly satisfied? I think printing salespeople don't push in that direction either. I think printing salespeople have an opportunity to be better than their competitors. I don't think they really take full advantage of that. As far as the technology, I don't know that there's that much difference. You send emails instead of writing letters. You send texts and emails instead of making phone calls sometimes. We still make a lot of phone calls. We still have a lot of face-to-face meetings. Not that different.
When you say that a sales rep, for example, doesn't take full advantage, are you talking about maybe not taking the next step and offering additional services on either the front end or the back end, that kind of thing?
Yeah. I mean, we're not just an industry that puts ink on paper or toner on paper anymore. I'm a very strong believer in the transition to being a marketing services provider. Much of the print had something to do with companies marketing their products. Some of it was operational, human resources printing, that sort of stuff. But here's another observation about printers' customers. Small business for the most part. Certainly our constituency is mostly small business customers, and most of those small businesses couldn't market their way out of a paper bag. They don't know how to market their businesses more effectively. There's a huge opportunity for the printers to learn how to be consultants and help people market more effectively and sell that in addition to the printed product.
So in your opinion, Dave, is that the single most important thing that printing company owners and managers should be cognizant of, in this time frame, I guess, of 2015?
I think so.
The marketing side.
It's interesting. We're here at a sign industry show. This is a huge show. This is a vibrant industry. When we're at the print industry shows, we're all talking about, geez, these things are shrinking. A big part of the reason for that is because so much that was printed is not being printed anymore. So much of that volume is just gone, it's not coming back. The sign industry is vibrant because it's not threatened by other means of communication. You know, you got people driving by, you don't give them a connection to the internet. But the printers, volume is disappearing, opportunity is disappearing. It's got to be replaced by other opportunity.
What's your advice to a printer who wants to get into the marketing side more, but maybe doesn't have the expertise or the background? How do you
hire
navigate?
somebody who does, the same way everybody else would. If a printer's customer, a small business, wanted to be a better marketing organization, they would probably hire a marketing person, maybe a graduate of an MBA, maybe a kid with a bachelor's degree in marketing. Why can't the printer hire that same person and spread that person's expertise out among 50, 100 small businesses? Because individual small businesses probably can't afford to hire one person for one business.
Interesting.
There's a lot of people who got marketing smarts out there that are looking for jobs.
Right. If you could put your finger, Dave, on one thing, the one thing that keeps your clients or printers in general up at night, that is a concern, a challenge, a problem, whatever you want to call it, what is it?
More than one thing.
Oh, give me a couple then.
From the sales side of it, on one hand, keeping your customers in the face of more and more price competition. Actually, I feel bad about saying that because I'm not sure there's more price competition than there was 20 years ago or 50 years ago. There was always somebody who had a lower price. But printers haven't responded well to that. What they've done is when they're threatened by price competition, they lower their prices. So that leads to margin erosion. That leads to cash flow problems. That leads to owing the bank money. That's what I think keeps them awake at night.
And you said there's more than one, so what's another one perhaps?
Production problems, people problems. Where do I find people to talk to my customers, run my machines? Another one of my issues, I think, is that printers tolerate bad customers and bad employees. And I honestly don't understand why. We got high unemployment, right? Which means that there's people looking for jobs. Why do you continue to employ somebody who's not doing the job as well as they could or should when there's people out there that want jobs, that want better jobs?
Yeah.
One of my pet causes is hiring veterans. Think about that for a second. You got people coming out of a culture of training and accountability. And then you've got people doing a sloppy job working in your company. If it was me, I'd start advertising to fill new positions and say, veterans welcome. Veterans more than welcome.
Right, interesting. Well, thanks for the time today, Dave. We'll look forward to seeing the Printing DNA report. And you said hopefully in a few days it'll be available on your website.
Yeah.
Great.
All right, thanks very much.
Thank you.